And they do it on Wednesday, so it's nothing on Saturday. So it's not competing. Go do your thing. We good. But yeah, he got to come out there with us, and yeah, we'll be dropping the feature details soon. I'm excited to take that trip. And y'all welcome. We had an Airbnb that could fit 8 people. 5 of us supposed to go, and then it dropped to us 3, which was cool because it was like a little guys trip. We got the bond and stuff. Jovan couldn't hang; he died the first night, but it's cool. Sorry, I won't tell nobody else though. But we about to jump right back into this open mic. So if you ready for your next artist, let me hear you say yeah. Make some noise, y'all, for Lady Syren. She always fly. She's just always cool.
Peace and blessings. Thank y'all. I am Lady Syren, and I'm gonna jump right into this piece. I've heard a lot of pieces tonight, and I feel like the piece that I want to do tonight is definitely a way to educate and perhaps begin breaking more cycles just to typical standards of society. Here it is, living in a man's world. This is a man's world. This is a man's world. A fact I know to be true, but it wouldn't be nothing without a woman or a girl. Or more pointedly stated, without the ability to control them. As little girls, we are taught early on how to dress, really how not to, what's appropriate and what brings shame. We are taught how to behave, how to move, how to speak around men. Be courteous, be sweet, but not too friendly, and never react or respond to me unless you fiend being called a bitch. Pejorative term used to describe majestic beings such as I, anytime we don't fall in line with the status quo. We coach little girls to cover themselves because the sight of a training bra strap or their budding cleavage could prove too much for pubescent boys to handle. Generally, all kids are taught never take candy from strangers, but how many are repetitively told never to sit in a grown man's lap? We are clearly taught that our womanly wiles are a force to be reckoned with at any stage of our development. So we must guard ourselves at all times, no matter the nature of our relationship with all men at any age. But these are just lessons of protection to carry into our adulthoods, right? As we mature, we are allowed more autonomy of our own bodies, and it is my body, right? Later, the picture becomes all too clear when we as women begin to move about this patriarchal society. You see, the parking lot of a club is not a safe space for a woman in a short dress, so don't wear it. A sparsely populated trail isn't a safe space for women wearing sports bras and leggings, so don't jog there. In a dark alley? Well, duh, a dark alley isn't safe no matter what she's wearing, so don't even bother to take the chance. And what happens when you, a woman, find yourself facing a figure in that alley that's bigger, taller, and moving faster than you? What's worse is when that figure isn't a stranger but familiar and hissing I love yous in the threatening tone of audacity. Is it then you begin to think about all the times you've been told, if he hurts you, if he keeps bothering you, if he keeps annoying you, he likes you. In our society as it stands, proximity and access to often confuse this invitation, and perhaps he was never taught, modeled, or cared learning the difference because it is my rights, my body, my choice. Correct? A sentiment only to be respected if cloaked in modesty, virginal femininity, domesticated habits, and of course she could never be too outspoken. Not if she wants to be seen as something, someone, no, I mean something to be valued, because the value of most things to appreciate the moment is driven off the lot. And the one thing that keeps the world going round and green is pink. Patriarchy and pussy have never been a good mix. In fact, Once upon an election, a buffoon of a candidate instructed young boys and men everywhere to simply grab us by the pussy. And why not? This is a man's world. And in it, he reigns supreme across every court in every city's hall as it stands. He is judge, jury, and executioner of every law that governs the female body. Isn't it ironic that the worst thing you can call them, men, the manly man that packs all of his masculinity in a tiny little box, is a pussy? Irony. Let's talk about it, because I find it interesting how we must give trigger warnings for events in our own history at the risk of dredging up memories of someone else's experience. Or, heaven forbid, it makes you uncomfortable. And as a black woman living in America, I know a thing or two about being suffocated in uneasiness, like in the 90s. When I was told, never scream rape, scream fire, because odds are no one is coming to save you if they know the cold, brutal, spiritually decimating acts that are occurring in the dark, but they will rush with pails of water in hand to save, dun, 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 a burning building. The desire to be seen has nothing to do with the imagery you perceive when you look at me or the clothes I'm wearing. Of all the many lessons that little girls and women are taught, how many of them mirror and the ones little boys and men are?
Girls, we run this mother. Yeah. Girls, we run this mother. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I just want to say you can follow me at Embodied Verses. That's EMBODIED, like Embodied Verses. All right, and yes, I do follow my poet fan back, so thank you so much for the space, and thank you, VIP. It's been great.